You want to know the one sentence that my coach shared with me that made me over $100,000? It all started when my coach said the following to me. He said, "You've got to correct your language." It all started with that simple sentence. And over the next few years, that one sentence made me over $100,000. Sound implausible? It's absolutely true. I was in a session with Matt, my coach at the time, talking about money issues, which was a common subject of concern for me at the time, and more specifically, how I wanted to make more money. And that is when I said the following. I'm not much of an investor. I don't even understand investing very well. And then Matt said to me, "Wait a second, stop right there." I said, well, I was like, what? Matt said, "You've got to correct your language." Now, did you catch what Matt heard in what I said? Let me rewind a little bit to give you a little bit more context. Earlier on in the coaching session, I said I could get more money by expanding my own business or my coaching practice, or could help my wife make more money in her business. And I used to try to make money investing. I guess I could try investing again, but you know what? I'm really not much of an investor because I'm not very good at numbers. By the way, notice that I was focused on how I would produce that result, because I figured at the time if I knew how it was going to happen, I could more easily make it happen. And most of your clients are addicted to knowing how to do something rather than why, rather than mindset, rather than the beliefs, values, or emotions that could be stopping them. But enough about that. Back to what I was telling my coach. So anyway, I was going on and on about how I wasn't much of an investor because I'm not very good at numbers. So I need to do better in my career so I can make more money. I mean, that investing thing, I don't think it's for me. And so after Matt was listening patiently to all this, he chimed in with one sentence: "You've got to correct your language." And so I asked him, I was like, "What are you talking about, Matt?" And Matt said, "Well, you said you're not good at numbers and you're not much of an investor. You need to say, hey, I'm getting better at this investing thing." Or you could say, "I'm becoming a good investor." If you say that you're not good or that investing's not for you, you automatically make that true through your emotions, your beliefs, and your values. And so first I was surprised. I was kind of jarred by what my coach said. Where were the probing, powerful questions? Where was the unconditional agreement? Where was the empathy, the encouragement? I mean, certainly his method violated one of the core coaching competencies, but after my initial reaction, I kind of instantly appreciated Matt's coaching. How I was going to make more money didn't really matter that much if my language disempowered me. I mean, as long as I used that kind of disempowering language, I wouldn't even look at the numbers. I couldn't appreciate investments. I couldn't be halfway decent at investing, and I could never even try to make investing possible for me. And so I corrected my language immediately. I said, you know what? I'm not yet a great investor, but I can learn to do it. And I'm open to the possibility of becoming better and better at investing. So after that one sentence coaching session, something extraordinary happened to me. I started looking at investments for a few hours each weekend. Then I started analyzing real investments on my own. I shared my progress with friends and family members. Finally, I started making actual investing decisions, like which investments were best for me. I purchased a few real significant investments responsibly, calmly, intelligently. I hope it was intelligently. And there was one unforgettable day when I purchased a particular investment after a few years of doing this, where I received 5 checks with thousands of dollars of instantaneous returns. That same investment in subsequent months continued to deliver tens of thousands of additional passive income. Now, as you might imagine, the language in my next coaching session with Matt changed radically. I said, hey, I'm an investor. I have a different level of abundance than ever before. Those moments when I saw the cash flowing into my account, they made me realize that one sentence from my coach in that one coaching session changed my entire investment approach, which changed my financial destiny, which changed my life. I realized in retrospect what was possible after getting such simple coaching on my language. It was my language that changed the course I was taking. It was my language that changed my financial destiny. And none of that cash would have shown up in my bank account had it not been for such a radical course correction on my investment journey. I mean, I would estimate my investments have rendered over 100,000, probably a little bit more than that, in additional returns so far. And by the way, the money is nice, but more important than that is the lesson that I learned in the most intense way you could imagine. Your words matter. Your words create meaning. Your words create your emotions. Your words create your beliefs. Your words alter your actions. Your words are your world. Your results stem from words. Your words expand or reduce possibilities. Words can create power and real results, or words can limit you. The more you use words that limit you, the more you'll limit whatever area of your life those words apply to. The more your clients' words empower and expand what's possible for them, the more your clients will realize their dreams. So I want to thank my coach, Matt, thank you, Matt, for challenging my limiting language, which gave me new words upon which to build a new future. Because if Matt hadn't done that, I would not have seen the life I now have. Not to mention the possibilities for my future beyond now. You're the coach who can do the same with your coaching clients. You can change your client's life by helping them to change a few words. Listen deeply to your client. Notice their language. What are the meanings that those words create that they're saying? Imagine each meaning stemming from your client's language could be like plotted on a spectrum between empowering and disempowering. What kind of empowering or limiting factors might your client's language bring to their life? What are some ways they might improve how their language impacts their life? Now, why does empowering language even matter to your client? Because empowerment is the name of the game for them. Empowerment allows your client to be who they want to be, to do what they need to do, to have what they want to have. I mean, what else is there? So coming back to my investing, for instance, you could have plotted my old language around investing on the disempowering end, while my new language is quite a bit more empowering. Now, let's think of a different continuum. Imagine plotting each meaning that your client's language creates on another axis between fantasy and reality. Does your client really believe what their language is implying? Does your client really think that way? Is what your client's saying authentic? Or do they know what they're saying is a lie? What your client is saying, is it true and real? Or is it more a fantasy than reality? What is really true that your client can elucidate with better language? Now, why does real or authentic language matter to your client? Because words are your client's targeting method. They are the tool that your client can use to create possibilities and actually achieve them. If your client's words aren't accurate, your client's always going to be off that targeting mechanism. They will be off target. Bottom line, false language makes it impossible to adjust when your client is off target. Untrue or inaccurate language eventually becomes what your client believes. False language warps reality, inevitably becoming a web of lies for your client. Since words are the building blocks of meaning and beliefs become the lens through which your client sees the world, that lens shapes the next belief, which becomes a lens that further shapes more beliefs. I mean, I've coached clients who are so caught up in their web of lies, made up of language, that they can't even escape it. And they go on to imprison their friends, family, and associates in that same web of lies. All that suffering could have been avoided. All that suffering was because my client couldn't see through the muddy waters of their language. At that point, as their coach, you got to help them see through those muddy waters. Some of my old language around investing would have probably been fantasy, while other aspects were true, albeit disempowering. And some of my new language is absolutely true. And when you explore these questions around language with your client, you build a language council, so to speak. A partnership to stand guard at the door of your client's mind. So only the most empowering and authentic thoughts enter their mind. See, your client's mind is like a CPU. It's like a computer. And garbage in, garbage out. So if you put garbage language in, inauthentic lies, disempowering words and ideas and beliefs, well, your client's brain is going to process all that and they're going to get junk out. They're going to get lousy emotions, lousy actions, lousy being, lousy doing, and ultimately they'll have a lousy life to go along with all that lousy language. And that's why your client needs training and coaching to stand guard at the door of their mind, so only the most empowering and authentic thoughts enter. All the other delusional, hopeless, hurtful ideas can still exist in the world, but they stay outside your client with the rest of the junk. As a result, your client discovers breakthroughs waiting for them, whether it be in their relationships or their finances, their career or health, any other area that matters to them. So correct your language. Help your clients correct their language. It'll make a bigger and better life for everyone that you touch. Now, working with your clients' language patterns is only one small facet of what I do to transform my clients' lives and businesses, and careers and relationships. And so if you want to know the whole story behind what I do and how I've changed thousands of lives over a period of 2+ decades now, check out this video right here, and I'll see you there. And by the way, if you want to see more videos like this in the future, subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll remind you when the next one comes out, which should be in about a week or so. And if you like the video, give it a like, and I'll see you in the next one.